Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of McLaren Junior Driver Going for Gold. We are at round 2 of the season at Imola, and we're not going to do the normal intro. There were no upgrades to really do to the car, so we're going to be jumping straight into qualifying. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll jump straight into it. Right, and here we go, guys, into qualifying at the Imola GP. I'm going to apologise. Yes, I know, you guys have probably seen so much Imola stuff recently. Anybody who's been watching YouTube videos for a while will know there's been a lot of Imola GP like just shown recently, and I appreciate that. But hey, don't worry, guys. It's only once you're gonna have to see it on this series, so you're all good. Hopefully, well, you never know. You might have to see it on series, season 2 if we make season 2. But yeah, I'm just gonna put a quick setup on the car anyway, guys, and get straight out on track. So yeah, hopefully things go good. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But overall, guys, good point scoring from the last race. Hopefully we can start looking good for the second race and put ourselves in a good point scoring position. I do have a little bit of a tendency to struggle around here, so obviously fingers crossed that everything goes good. But until then, guys, let's get on with the first lap. Right, and here we go, guys. So we're out on the flying lap. As I normally do, I've cut it down to around about 4 minutes left of qualifying, but I've gone out on track a little bit late, which has not really done myself any favours. But either way, I'm not too worried. Just need to get in one flying lap, hopefully not stuck behind any cars. We'll get a good flying lap, and hopefully with just the one, we should be able to get into Q2. Now, my main concern is that these guys are all on cooldown laps, so if they are, this could be detrimental to my lap. But either way, starting good. Turn 1, 2 and 3, not too bad. Just try and get it nice and smooth through here. I usually make a few mistakes, run it a little bit wide onto the gravel there, but not too bad. Deep and late on the brakes here. Swing it around nicely. Hover the power. Didn't get it turned in too nicely there and run a little bit of the curb, but still not costing myself too much time. There we go. Nice round. Run a bit of exit curb, not too bad. Get it down. Oh, okay. I was a little bit early on the brakes there. Cost myself a bit of time. A little bit out of place, but not too bad at least. My concern right now is this Alfa Romeo. Are they going to be in my way? Are they going to cause me to lose lap time, or are we going to be okay here? I think it should be all right. I think we should be able to get through. Not too bad. They're just that little bit of a gap ahead, which is perfect. So I shouldn't have to worry about squeezing past them. But this is only Q1, guys, and we're in a McLaren, so let's be realistic. I'm pretty confident we're going to be looking at Q2 without a problem. There we go, across the line. And I don't know where we are. It always disappears. Top left, it always disappears very quickly. But if you just hold on, bear with me 2 seconds, and we'll check those lap times. Okay, so for Q1, guys, we are... There we go. So unfortunately, we're about 1.1 seconds off the pace. I think the McLarens, as me and Ricardo, we're going to struggle a little bit around here. But we'll see how we get on with it. We'll get on into Q2. And... yeah, I think for this track, unlike Bahrain, I don't want to be running a medium start. I kind of want to be running a soft start, so it opens up my strategy. So I can either go softs to hards. Hards are a horrible tyre to be on. Mediums are not too bad, but obviously you kind of want to dominate on the softs. So I'm going to go out and try and run a set of softs for this quali. But yeah, I'm gonna try and do one lap. If it's good enough, then we'll go straight through, hopefully, to Q3. If not, we'll come back, we'll do a second lap, and we'll go on again. So, I will catch you guys out on track. Right, so here we are, guys, back with Q2. Q1, good. Got ourselves into a nice little slot. We're quite far off the pace, which is not good, but either way, should have enough time to put in one flying lap here. And then if it's not good enough, then we come back, go straight back into the pits, and we'll come back again for a second lap. Obviously, the track does come to you throughout qualifying, so I'm not too worried. Should be confident. Should be good for getting myself into Q3. But either way, just need to put in a nice, solid first lap. A little bit too much inside curve there, caused the car to bounce a little bit and wobble, but got the traction back nicely, and yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Bit wide there, cost myself some time. Not great. As I say, I do struggle through there a little bit, so it's just a little bit of practice, but again, it should come to me throughout the race. More laps, the more consistent you become. So, yeah, we should be good. Right, let's get a little bit early on the brakes there. Try and get the power down a little bit earlier than normal just because I lost so much on the corner entry. Costing myself a load of time here. I'm really having a bad lap here. I'm not feeling too good. Okay, this could be close. I might have to come in for a second lap. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely think a second lap might have to be on the cards here. But we'll finish this lap up first. And then we'll go from there. But we'll see where we're placing. Keep your eyes peeled on the top left. Penultimate 2 corners. Get a nice exit. Power down and out. Brakes. Try not rub that curb. Should have had a little bit earlier on the power there. But either way. There we go. Across the line. And we are P1.
Fantastic.
Okay. I genuinely think that the guys are there on mediums. And they are going to be going for merit. Which means... yeah, I think we might have to jump back to the garage. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to the garage. And I'm going to go for another lap just to give myself a little bit of solidarity and check up on the times. Right, and there it is, guys. We are through to Q3. I was confident. I could have checked the times and, you know, gone back on it and made sure and everything like that. But I was confident enough. And also it gives me the opportunity to run 2 extra pairs of softs during Q3 if need be. So, yeah. Feeling good. Feel like I don't need to mess around too much with anything. And, yeah, I was P1 ahead of Ricardo by 34 thousandths of a second, which was good. So, yeah, through to Q3. And fingers crossed we can get on into it and get ourselves... I'm hoping top 4. I'd like to get top 4, but I think top 5, you know, maybe 4th or 5th will be on the cards for us. I do think that P1, 2, 3, and 4 are probably going to be a mix between the Red Bulls and Mercedes. But who knows? Anyways, guys, we're going to get out on track and go and see where we can put ourselves in for Q3. I'll catch you guys on track. Right, guys, here we go. Q3 needs to be a little bit more smooth and a little bit more consistent. Q1 was an okay lap, but I didn't need to really worry too much about that lap time. Q2 was again a bit more shaky into turn 3 and 4. Turn 3 and 4? Yeah, turn 3 and 4. Yeah, a little bit shaky through there, but thankfully it was a really good lap, and it put me P1 and Q2 again. Obviously, there's going to be a few guys starting on the mediums. Obviously, that's what their plan was. So the plan now is Q3. Put the foot down, concentrate, get the lap in, and push for top 5. Just need to get it smooth through here. Nice, run the inside curve, run it out a nice little bit wide there. Perfect. Yeah, it is purple sector 1, but you got to remember the track comes to you throughout qualifying. So we'll see what happens. I think the other guys are going to be putting in some good lap times towards the end. So just going to have to keep our foot down and get ourselves a good lap. Little bit better through there. Lost a little bit of time through the second of the double right-handers there. Braked a little bit early and had to kind of get out the brake. Cost myself a little bit of time, but it is what it is. Alright, so through the right-left chicane, coming down the hill, coming around to the final 2 corners. Can we get it absolutely inch perfect? No, a little bit out on the gravel, losing a little bit of time. Not great, not feeling too confident with that. I think I'm definitely going to have to go for a second run just to get a little bit of solidarity and confidence. There we go, P5, guys. Not a good enough lap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the pits. I'm going to come back out in a fresh set of tyres, and I'm going to go again. So I'll see you guys in the final run. Right, and here we go, guys. This is it. This is the final lap. Fresh set of tyres. No more time for mistakes. This is it. Any mistakes now, and that is game over. So I need to make sure this lap counts. So what I've done, guys, I have put on a fresh set of boots. I have changed the differentials a little bit, the brake bias. Just done a few tiny little tweaks to the car just to try and get the final little improvements out of the car for this final lap. I'm not massively confident that it's going to be an incredibly good lap, but again, obviously I've got no more lifelines. So, again, little mistakes like that are not going to do me any favours. Quite late on the brakes, quite a wide line. Oh, this is not good. With 3/10 down, I genuinely think I may have just cost myself some good grid places here. Yep, 3/10 down, and not looking too good. Late on the brakes, get it nice, get it hooked up, power down. Made up a little bit of time there, almost a tenth of a second. I'd say a few little mistakes, and if you can correct them, you can make up a lot of time. So there we go. Once again, made about another tenth of a second up. It's down to the 2 final corners, and to be honest, guys, I don't think it's enough. I think that is it for qualifying. Trying to get off the gravel. There we go. Good final exit, and we are down on time. Unfortunately, guys, that is it. That is a rather poor final quali lap from myself. At the time of crossing the line, it was P5. Yeah, I think I may have even been bumped down a few places. So let's check it out and see where we place for the race.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton,
there we go, guys. So
Max Verstappen.
P5, not great. I was right. I did say about the double Red Bulls and the double Mercedes in the top 4, which means, you know, with hopefully some improved lap times throughout the race, I should be able to keep up with them and maybe nick a place or two. If not, as long as I can stay ahead of the Ferraris, hopefully my teammate Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri and Esteban in the Alpine, I should be good. But either way, guys, take a breather. That was not good. So that's going to be a tough start to the race. Going to need to take it easy into the first corner. But either way, guys, qualifying's done. That's it. Let's go and get ourselves into the race.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation of being a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track here at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One circuits as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope no one forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight of the circuit and its only DRS zone. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Bell and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll, Russell, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Right, so guys, there we go. Qualifying is done, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't really state it at the time, but I'm going to admit to it now. I made a bit of an error in qualifying. On the third run, you may notice that my time doesn't improve, and you're probably thinking, well, the track evolves throughout qualifying. It should have improved at least a little bit. The lap was okay, and yeah, that was great, but I completely forgot to change from a worn pair of softs to a new pair of softs. So I kind of did myself a little bit of damage, to say the least. So unfortunately, we're going to be starting the race on a slightly worn set of softs, or a bit more worn than expected, because the same tyres I used in I think Q2 I used in Q3. So unfortunately, guys, I've kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit there. But either way, It's Imola, and I'm not going to lie, guys. I do not like hard tyres around Imola. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do the two-stop strategy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a set of softs and run them out to lap 10. I'm going to take a set of mediums for the middle stint. I'm going to take them... hold on, let's put that to lap 10. Thank you. I'm going to run a set of mediums for 15 laps. And then I'm going to make a last lap dash. Well, I say last lap dash, but last couple lap dash on a set of softs to take me to the end. Imola, I appreciate, is a long pit stop, and you're probably going to shoot me for this one, guys. But I think the best option for me here is to do what I feel comfortable. And again, obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do... actually, no, I'm going to go 9 laps soft, 15 laps medium. No, shall we? 10 laps soft, 14 lap medium, 8 laps soft at the end. I'm going to take that to the end. It's only a tiny bit longer on race strat than originally set, but I feel comfortable with it. I'm going to take that, and we're going to get on into the race. So, yeah, bit of a mistake there. So, not great. But anyways, guys, let's get on into the race, and let's head for lights out. Right, and here we go, guys. Ready for lights out. And a bit of a delayed start, but we're away. Right, so not a bad start by the looks of it. Just hanging on. Got Bottas to the back right-hand side of us, just hanging on, tucking it behind Hamilton. Laid on the brakes if we can without smacking into the back. Bit of a lock-up by Perez. Quite a big lock on that back left. Not expected to have a bigger lock-up like that, but we've got Bottas. Oh, here he comes, right. Straight. Oh, he's not holding up, but there we go with the switchback. Lovely. Straight back on the switchback. Take that position back. We're not giving up on that easily. Right. Okay, so by the looks of it, Bottas has dropped back a little bit. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue, so let's just sink on into the race a little bit now. Try and get our teeth into away from Bottas and into Perez. We are starting on softs here, guys, so obviously we should have better pace, but moving like that is not going to do any favours. Bit of a late manoeuvre here, but by me, I'm not going to lie. I've kind of cut Bottas's nose off there. Not really what we want. But either way, we're on soft tyres. We should be able to hold on to Perez for a little bit and pull on for a couple good laps. Obviously, first lap so far, clean everyone away. No real problems. If you look at the minimap, everyone's in a pretty conjugated good old line there. So no real worries. Pump a VRS. See if we can try to drag away from Bottas. Max, fastest lap, no surprise, he's the front runner. What do you expect? Hamilton didn't get past him, so he ain't going to get it. Right, so we're holding 0.6 of a second to Bottas. Looking strong. Still holding. We are in a McLaren, so we're definitely overstepping the mark here. You know, kind of fighting with the big boys here. McLarens normally aren't this far up, but hey ho. On to lap 4. Closing in on Perez. Still holding, you know, around about 0.8 to 0.9 of a second to Bottas. So not really too worried about the attack coming from Bottas here. As long as we keep it smooth, keep it clean, we can start looking at a lunge on Perez at some point. Still quite far back, but up into the chicane up here, you can get quite late on the brakes and run the curb on the inside. As we do, there we go, straight across, keep it nice and smooth, get the power down, nice delivery, and we're right tucked in behind Perez. Get a bit of ERS, a bit late on the ERS though, should have been a bit earlier, but it's just enough. We're tucking in Perez, I'm getting squeezed a bit, but there we go, a bit through that. Oh, okay, on the gravel, so not the greatest, but there we go. We got Perez, no matter how you get it, as long as you get the position, you're happy. Right, ERS, we're in within a second, so we've got DRS on Hamilton. So it's a long run down here. It's a very, very, very long, I wouldn't really call it straight, but you know, down the straight, obviously. On the outside of Hamilton, get late on the brakes, hold the position, running it a bit wide, using quite a lot of curb there, getting a lot of vibration in the car. Thankfully, no damage received, but we're still holding on nicely. So we're just staying ahead of Hamilton. Max, he's a little bit further ahead. Oh, running wide again. I do like this track, and I do find that sometimes it can be a little bit rough when it comes to running a little bit wide. Again, there you go, straight onto the gravel, burning the last ounces of our ERS. We use quite a lot, unfortunately, but it's just to try and breach that second gap to Hamilton. As you can see, moving on to lap 8, we have a 1.3, nearly 1.4 second gap to Hamilton. Tyres are looking a bit worn, upwards of 40% rear right, and still not looking too good on the tyre degradation. But I think we're getting to the stage now where the tyres are going to start dropping off a bit. Reckless driving like that, straight across the curbs, costing me time. That 1.4 seconds to Hamilton has halved. You know, we're down to 7 to 0.8 of a second to him now. He's pushing hard. He's been saving up his ERS now. He's definitely going to be in the hunt for us. So, as you can see, somewhere throughout the lap, obviously I haven't really paid attention to it much, but don't know what's gone on, but by the looks of it, we've got an Aston, a AlphaTauri. Oh, okay, a bit wide there. Just stay on track, Chaos. Come on, what are you doing? Calling a late pit stop, thinking to myself, yeah, 40% degradation, this is going to be dangerous. Hamilton's going to get us, so let's not give him the satisfaction of taking us down the main straight and, you know, putting us in the dust to have Perez attack us as well. But as you can see, yeah, I think a little bit of a mistake happened somewhere down the line. Obviously, we got 2 Alphas dropping off. Then we've got what looks. Oh, hold on, we got a yellow flag. Kimi or Giovinazzi? Oh, it's Kimi Raikkonen. Well, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not worried about that. That doesn't really make much difference to my race. If it was Max Verstappen, by all means, I'd take it. You know, take the leader out of the race. I'll happily take pole position. I'll take pole position, but the race win. But yeah, Kimi Raikkonen's out the race. And as I said, you've got the slower cars coming up now. And I appreciate that those cars are going to be dropping back quite a bit. To have an AlphaTauri and a Aston Martin, I think I've seen the names and I'm pretty sure that is Sebastian Vettel, who's not had a good start to the race. So as we are out the pits, good stop. It's a long pit straight, so unfortunately it takes quite a while. We're on to hards, and you guys are probably wondering from the start of this video, didn't he go soft, medium, soft? I pitted early, and due to pitting early, the strat changed. Not just that, if you go back and have a little look at the start of the video, guys, you'll realise that I may have forgot to actually select that strategy. I didn't actually select the strategy. I edited it ready. I never selected it, so it kept us on a hard middle stint. So I kind of threw myself down the bin there. Another kind of admittance from me is you're probably wondering why I didn't improve on my third quali time. I forgot to put a fresh pair of boots on, guys. I went out and worn softs, and yeah, in today's live stream that I did the same. I forgot to go out on fresh tyres. So I ended up binning my best time. So I didn't do myself any favours there. They were worn and I didn't do any favours. But either way, back into the race, the actual race that we're commentating on. Doing not too bad. You can tell that Russell is definitely on worn soft tyres. He's struggling quite a bit. He's going to be going quite long on these softs, I reckon, to try and get himself more of a chance of fighting for the possible point scoring positions. But yeah, quite a nice flourish of pit stops now, looking like Leclerc coming out of the pits now. Just got past Russell, nice move. I didn't think that was going to be too difficult, so I'm not really worried about that. He's a back runner in a Williams, and we're in a McLaren. It should be quite an easy overtake. So yeah, lap 10, looking quite good at the moment, holding on smooth, on hard tyres, round Imola is not a clever idea, so I'm not feeling too confident for the next couple laps, especially on these hard tyres. So, skipping on to lap 11, chasing down Giovinazzi. We've closed the gap down, obviously, not going to, let you guys suffer with just a lap of pure quietness, so yeah, we're going to close up to Giovinazzi, and we're going to try. And my mind was telling me, go for a lunge down here, but then I thought, no, that's dangerous. It's going to cost me the race. Let's try and be smart, keep it clean. Running a bit of excess gravel there, excess line there and running onto the gravel, but we've got a lot of ERS saved up. We've got about 40%. Trying to be, conservative on that, not trying to burn it up too quickly as we have. And obviously, a big flourish of more pit stops. Leclerc has jumped his teammate by the looks of it. Sainz has just come out the pits now. We've got an Alpine behind. Obviously, nice clean overtake on Giovinazzi. It's quite a long DRS zone, so it's not really much of a worry trying to get past him. So, moving on to lap 12, we are in P6. Ricciardo having a good race up to P5, not looking too bad. We're up to P6, running hards. Thinking about taking them to the end of the race. Right, and here we go, guys. Heading on to lap 14. Still looking good, holding onto the tyres quite well. Still holding on to P5. Obviously, Danny Rick has pitted and obviously dropped back a bit. And there we go. So we've got another couple pit stops just there. So obviously, by the looks of it, Perez, Leclerc behind. Obviously, Bottas ahead still. Verstappen, I hope you guys have all seen it recently yourself, not just me, but Max Verstappen has just become another kind of animal, which is just, he's untouchable, and it's horrible because you've got to try and deal with the fact that he's so fast, and obviously Bottas is still pretty damn quick as well. Yeah, it's quite hard at the moment. Obviously, it doesn't matter what team I've been in recently. I've noticed that Max Verstappen's just been, it's unfathomable how quick the man is, and I don't know if it's just due to an update or whatever, but either way. Driving like that, getting a bit late on the brakes, only just tucking it in. We've got Perez right behind us. I mean, he's obviously pitted. He's come back out. He's on the hunt. He's oh, hold on.
Seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Two bad things happening there. Danny Rick out of the race. As you can see, yellow flags in Sector 2. And Perez trying to get past. Quite a big lunge by Perez. I went, to try and hang on. Quite a bit of contact made between us. I'm not happy with that. But, regardless of it, Perez has ended up with a 5-second penalty. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty annoyed at the fact that that's just happened. And obviously it doesn't help that I've got Leclerc right up behind me, a tenth of a second behind, literally hanging on in there. I'm burning every ounce I have of ERS to hang on to it, make sure that he doesn't get past. Obviously I'm trying to hang on to Perez as well. He's on a fresh pair of softs. He will be boxing again, and so will Leclerc. But the thing is, I'm not so worried about Perez tearing away, but I'm spending too much time trying to defend against, Perez on the fresh set of softs and also Leclerc on a fresh set of softs as well. It's not the right thing to do. I need to just let them go, tag on the back of them, and my main contender right now should be Lewis Hamilton. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gutted for Danny Rick. He was having a good race as well, but yeah, as you can see, coming up to us now, we're just about to end up in the yellow flags, and there he is on the left-hand side, absolutely gutted. That's my teammate. Regardless of being my teammate or not, I love Danny Rick, and obviously I want him to do well, but yeah, staying ahead of Leclerc. He's dropped back a bit, quite a bit actually. He's gone from right up my tail, from like a tenth of a second down to 1.4. I almost feel like maybe there was a little bit of contact made between us. Say if he made a lunge, maybe there was a little bit of front wing contact from him on the back axle of my car, but I don't know. We'll find out in a second. Obviously, coming up to the pits, if he has got any damage, he will rummage himself in there real quick. We'll check. So there we go. And is he going in the pits? No, must not be any damage. He must have just had a bad lap or made a little bit of a mistake. Perez obviously fastest lap, absolutely tearing off. He's 3.4 ahead. He's pulled that in one lap. I've made a few mistakes. Obviously, I'm on hard tyres. I'm going to struggle. Leclerc is definitely having some issues. Obviously, he's kind of switched between Hamilton and everything there. But obviously, moving on to lap 18, Leclerc has got past back again. Obviously, closed the gap down. I've not been too hot on my tyres, which is not great. And obviously, he's right up behind. I've got no ERS left to defend. I've got to try and deal with him. And I've also got Hamilton right there as well. Leclerc, he's cleanly passed. He's gone. I'm not holding on to him. I need to start focusing on my main targets now. I've got 7% of ERS. I'm starting to drive a little bit ragged, and I'm not racing quite well here. I'm making a lot of mistakes, running it quite wide, taking a lot more curb than I should be doing, and unfortunately Leclerc's passed, and I've got Hamilton right on my tail, which is not good. We're only 18 laps in, 18 out of 32. And obviously we've got a long race ahead of us. I need to start focusing, start concentrating on what I'm doing and actually just pumping in the lap times. Anybody who watches my streams will notice at the moment, recently I've been doing a lot longer races, and my pace has definitely been picking up recently, but my consistency, so I'll have one good lap, like a one lap king kind of situation, and then I'll start making a few mistakes where I start, you know, having lap 1 great, lap 2 slightly edgy, lap 3 again slightly edgy, and I'm not focusing so much on my ERS. I'm starting to make a few mistakes. Thankfully a good exit from the corner from back there, yeah, the right left chicane. Obviously we've just pulled out a couple tenths to, oh okay, look, Hilaire's in, there we go. So he's done a 2-stop, he's definitely done a 2-stop. Oh, here we go. Right, no ERS left. Hamilton with DRS and DRS, squeezing him quite a bit here. I'm being quite aggressive on defense, which more than I should be. Straight up the inside, he's gone into me there. You can actually see that he's run a bit of curb and he's bounced into my car. I've squeezed him, and I'm not going to lie, I've been a bit aggressive with squeezing. I think it's due to the fact that I'm getting swallowed up quite quickly, making a few mistakes, and you can see that I'm being a little bit irrational. Again, pushing too hard, running a bit too much there, and taking a bit of gravel, and obviously slowing myself down. Right, moving on to back end of lap 19. I think you can see that Hamilton, I think he might have some damage. I think there is some damage there. 2.8 seconds drop back, and he's holding Bottas up. There's no way in hell I'm pulling that gap. Yeah. Again, another thing, like I'm making these mistakes, I'm defending too heavily, and I'm causing damage to the drivers around me. It's not what should be happening, because in real life terms, if I'm doing this, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for it. You know, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble, and I'm going to get told off by the FIA. Thankfully, I haven't actually received any penalties in the race, so kind of I shouldn't really be too much to be at fault. Obviously, when you're defending, you can defend as hard as you want to a degree. I'm a little bit more respectful normally. I give room to my opponents, and I don't race too heavily. Moving on to the back end of lap 21, looking a little bit better through the hairpin. We've got Bottas right up behind us, 0.3 of a second, and I've been trying to hang on. And the problem I'm making in this race is I'm thinking that I'm in a damn 2007 McLaren, who, you know, fighting up the, 2007, 2008 McLaren, like I'm fighting up for the wins. It's not the case, and it shouldn't be the case. And as you can see, I've been focusing so much, thinking that my Perez is my target, that I've not been paying attention to. As there you go, Bottas straight past us, easy manoeuvre, DRS, loads of ERS, and he's got it all. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to defend with. No ERS, no DRS. I've got maximum, what, 13%, and I'm burning even more ERS. Perez had a great stint by the looks of it. You know, he pulled up 17, 18 seconds ahead of us, and again, more gravel. Honestly, I can't keep myself out of the gravel this damn race. But yeah, Perez, great stint there, pulled it off nicely. Obviously, he's going to be finishing up on mediums, I'm assuming. I didn't actually see as we were going past the pits, but obviously, if you have seen yourself, I think he's gone on to mediums, like a soft medium run. This is more of a soft hard run that I'm running, which obviously Bottas is as well. So Sainz, and I'm looking a bit rough on my laps. I'm definitely, you can tell I'm starting to get a little bit impatient, thinking, why am I dropping back so much? But it's because, as I said, I'm not in a 2007, 2008 McLaren. I'm not going to beat the Ferraris. I'm not going to beat everyone else. I've got to understand, I'm in a back of the front runners, kind of car where I can, linger in the background. I'm not one of the top boys. I should be looking at fighting on, as you can kind of see throughout the race, just ahead of the Alpines, just ahead of the Aston Martins, and kind of getting into a good old scrap with the Ferraris. Me and the, I say me, but McLaren and the Ferraris, we should be looking at a good old scrap with the Mercedes, with the Ferraris. We should be having a good old scrap and trying to improve as best as we can. So between the Ferraris and myself in the McLaren, we should be improving the car and pushing ourselves harder to try and take us a little bit closer to the Mercedes. And there we go again, more gravel. Oh, you can tell I'm making my mistakes. But here we go, guys. Right, so starting on lap 25. Not looking good. Sainz is closed in, and I've got, again, no ERS. I've chopped his nose down. I'm really defending. Not very clean. And here we go. So around the outside, we're going to try and force him a little bit wide. Little bit of contact made again, I think. I didn't really know. Look back. I think maybe there's a little bit of contact. Maybe a bit of wheel to wheel. Don't know if his front wing touched the inside of my barge boards. There's no real damage to my car, so I don't really know. Once again, guys, a little bit of gravel. I think you're going to get sick by the end of the video. You're probably going to think, Jesus Christ, if he hits the gravel one more time, I'm going to jump through the screen and punch him myself. And I don't blame you guys. I've had an absolutely appalling race. Perez, once again.
Okay, good work.
Oh, no, okay, so he must have... I may have got it wrong. Maybe he started mediums. Maybe he's doing a double soft run to the end. But as you can see, Perez on softs absolutely thwarting both me and Sainz. He's right up behind Sainz. He's, you know, I'm 3/10 just ahead of Sainz. And then we got Perez as well. We got Sainz. He's going to make the lunge. No, just holding it one more time, which again, I've got to try and get the best corner exits I can to try and keep away from him. Unfortunately, Perez, he's going to be all over us. He's going to be all over us like a bad habit. He's going to be throwing past Sainz in no time. Once he gets past him, I'm next on the on the dinner list. Not great lines through there. Kind of held it a bit too tight on the inside on the left. Jumping into the pits, it was a late call. Adam's sending me a buy invite there. Sorry guys, I can't edit that out. Unfortunately, that's got to stay in there. But yeah, not looking good. My tyres are struggling. Sainz behind. I'm thinking maybe if I get into a fresh set of softs with the amount of time left, I should be okay. But yeah, I think if I remember rightly, I don't know if I've actually left it in. I think maybe I've made a mistake on editing there, but I think there was a little bit of front wing damage, and it was kind of it was, it's not so much as was there, but it was kind of, have I got front wing damage or not? And I had to kind of just say, look, I'm in the points here, I'm struggling, my tyres are dead, I'm not enjoying this, go out in a fresh set of softs and let's check and see if the front wing is good. Because Jeff can tell you sometimes, front wing's fine mate, carry on, just look after your tyres. So obviously I decided, let's have a pit stop. And I know it was a bad choice, but obviously it's a case of, look, we got 6 seconds to Vettel. I knew I was going to lose out to Sainz, I knew I was going to lose out to Vettel. God, that was close there. If I didn't hit the brakes where I did, I was straight to the back of Giovinazzi. Try and get a good exit, pump the last amounts of ERS I've got saved up from that pit stop. Late on the brakes, round the outside, and cling through on him.
What happened?
But yeah, I was worried about a little bit of front wing damage, and I had to kind of just see if there was. Because sometimes Jeff will tell you there's nothing wrong, everything's fine, and you move on. As talking of moving on to lap 20, back end of lap 28 onto 29. Pulled away from Giovinazzi, 5 seconds to him, with 2 seconds down to Vettel. I'm talking grit between your teeth now. You're thinking, let's get this. We've got 2.7 seconds to Vettel. Need to close this gap down. It was around about 6-7 seconds. Thankfully, we've closed down quite a bit in the space of 2 laps. But obviously, try and clean it up so you guys can just see more of the attacking ability of me closing the cars down and getting past and doing what I can to give you guys the best content possible. But yeah, I'm a bit rusty. I'm just making so many mistakes this race and I'm not enjoying it. It's you can tell there's annoyance in me. You can tell that I'm not happy with my performance. You can tell that I'm pushing to the extremities of the track, pushing too hard, making stupid mistakes, and it's costing me a lot of time. And I've got that, I've seen red, I've seen, the bull with the, the bull and the rag as such, the red rag. And the only thing I can really do now is just think, right, yeah, getting a fresh set of softs, go for it. We've got Giovinazzi we pulled 7 seconds to him. Gasly, he's passed him as well now, and we're moving up, trying to get to Vettel. We've got 1.4 to him. It's a case of, can we get in the DRS zone now? Can we not? Late on the brakes, trying to hold as little curb as possible, down to 1.1, holding. No, we're not getting that DRS, unfortunately. Only got 6% ERS left, and there's not really much time left in the race. We've got 2 laps left, moving on to obviously lap 30 now, and I'm pushing this car for everything it's worth. Touched a bit of grass again, not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just too busy trying to focus on hitting that target, getting hold of. And there it is, guys.
Making gains at the top of the table.
That's what you get when you push too hard. You let your demons get the best of you, and unfortunately, guys, I've pushed that a little bit too hard. I've eaten a bit of gravel on the outside, and as you guys see, I mentioned the gravel, and you're probably thinking, how many times are you going to mention it? There you go, guys. That's the reason why. I pushed too hard, and I've taken a bit of gravel, I've spun out, and that is it. As it states in the title, I let the best of me go that day, and I didn't focus too much on my race. So unfortunately, as you see,
and there we go, guys.
We're out the race. No points scored for Red Bull. Sorry, no points scored for McLaren here. Red Bull, fantastic race, fair play to them. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let Crofty and Anthony Davidson take over. So yeah. Enjoy the rest of the video.
As you can see, guys,
with these two yammering on. I will catch you guys at the end of the video.
I got a little bit annoyed by the front wing damage created by Carlos Sainz, and I tried to stay out for a little bit longer on those tyres, and it didn't pay off. I I made my own mistake again. I kind of did the same in Bahrain, made a little bit of a mistake, and I've done the same again here. So again, hopefully, if we can come back on episode 3 for the next race, a little bit cooler headed, a little bit more fair-minded, and then hopefully we can start fighting a little bit closer for the title. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, we've dropped back to P4 in the championship. 4 points down on Mercedes. And yeah, in the drivers, not a good day today. Daniel Ricciardo with the retirement. Myself with the retirement. I got a bit hot-headed, pushed a bit too hard. I knew I could have caught Vettel, but I ended up putting it in the wall. So yeah, not the greatest today, guys. But obviously, the race is done. That's it. We've got to move on to the next one. We've got to keep thinking for the title and going from there. But until then, guys, I'm going to make my leave. I appreciate all you guys coming out and stopping and watching the video. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to keep up to date with everything else, again, check down below in the description for all the other links, such as my Twitch, my Discord, and my Twitter. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Not the greatest one, but I'll catch you guys then. Peace.